Josh Brigette here with JTV Sports and Chelsea State Bank Media Day here with head coach Brogan, Lumen Christi Titans. Coach, coming off of another state championship season, entering your 45th year. Talk about your off-season workouts this year, your team expectations for this season.
Well, our expectations are always the same. We want to qualify for the playoffs, number one, and then once you get to that point, you want to work your way towards the state championship. In order to get there, you got to work really hard. I mentioned earlier that the third year has traditionally been a tough one for us. Just human nature is a difficult opponent, and when you're successful for a couple years in a row, kids can tend to just think it's going to happen rather than make it happen. And so that's been kind of a point of emphasis for us all summer long. Whatever we get this year, we've got to earn it.
Last year, Catholic League was new to you. You guys go out and win it. But that year of experience in league certainly has to help. You're going to challenge that league again this year. What does the year that you had last year kind of help prepare you for this year's conference run?
Well, I just think we're a little bit more familiar with them, but they obviously are more familiar with us. They're big schools that we have to play in that league, and I'm not so sure they didn't overlook us a little bit last year, and if that was the case, that's not going to happen again this year. So I think, have to be prepared to face better football teams this year than what we did last year.
Coach, one change for you. You've been past few years Division 7 state champion. You're going to play Division 6 this year. You have a couple Division 6 championships in your trophy case as well, but it's been a few years. What does that change mean for you, and what will that look like as we get into the playoffs if this team makes a spot?
Well, I don't think it presents much of a change. You see great football teams in every division. I think the difference is the higher that you go in the divisions, the more good football teams you see. But we're not going to see anything in Division 6 that we didn't see in Division 7, and we just have to prepare ourselves all year long.
Coach, offensively, you got your quarterback coming back, you got your fullback coming back, you got your all-state tailback coming back, and you got a handful of pieces on the offensive line. You did lose some offensive tackles, certainly big pieces that are playing elsewhere for right now, but kind of offensively, what are you expecting this year?
Number one, we've got to be able to block people, and it's going to be more difficult without the two tackles that we had. But having said that, we've got quite a bit of experience back on the offensive line. We may have to do things, emphasizing quickness more so than power like we did last year. But I think the scheme is going to remain the same. I think it was successful last year, and I think our kids are comfortable with where we're at. And, part of it, as we talked about earlier, it's just a matter of getting on the field and sees what's working and what's not.
You've had a solid offense past few years, but what has really made you the championship level has been your defense. What are your expectations for your defense coming back this season, and where do you see the greatest opportunities for improvement?
Well, we're going to have to get better in the secondary simply because we lost two great corners. Difficult to replace, especially with the skill level that you're going to see with Notre Dame and the skill level you're going to see with UAD. You've got to have people that can cover. And so we're a little bit inexperienced there. We've worked hard during the off season to get better, but that's one of the challenges that we face. But I think we're going to be strong up front. Logan Decker and Charlie Saunders didn't start, with Aiden and Luke there, but they had a lot of minutes at the defensive end. So I feel pretty good about where we're at up front.
So it's about 4 weeks away till we kick off against Michigan Center. You're going to start with Michigan Center again this year, and then you get right into a really tough schedule the rest of the way. Just talk about what your team needs to do over the next 4 weeks to prepare for Michigan Center week 1 and then the rest of your schedule.
Well, Michigan Center's, they're well coached. They're going to be hungry. They've got a great quarterback coming back. And so opening games are usually decided by the team that makes the fewest mistakes. And so it's very easy to go out and lose a game rather than go out and win it. But we just got to work on our execution on both sides of the ball. Mentally, we've got to be sharp. You've got to learn the things that we're doing. We run multiple schemes. So there's a lot of mental work that needs to be done. And you have to be strong mentally, because if you're not strong mentally, you're not going to play fast, and we want to play fast.
Coach, let's look at your summer. Let's step away from the football field a little bit on a personal level, away from football. What's the most memorable thing you've done all summer long?
Well, I probably a couple highlights. Went to Alaska with my wife, Mary, and then earlier in the summer went up north fishing with two of my three boys and 5 of the grandsons. So both of those were pretty unique experiences.
Sounds like a lot of fun. A fishing trip with the boys and a nice Alaskan trip with the wife. Head coach Herb Brogan here with Lumen Christi as they pursue another state championship over for the Lumen Christi Titans. Coach, best of luck this year. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
This is room 40, 30. That boy gone. Touchdown, Titans.